I just got my package.
When I get close to you, close to you, close to you. You said hello and I lost my control in just one tiny second.
So due to public holiday, I opted to go pick up my passport by myself at the DHL office because I was to travel the next day and I couldn't trust DHL to deliver on time.
I look like almost school. You did not see the hair my sister made for me this morning. I just made this hair this morning. Oh, I look like simply go to school. Oh God, I am with everybody. I must not put this hair outside though. Like, okay. So I just got my package. I'm yet to open it. Part of me wants to open it here. Part of me wants to wait till I get home with my family, but I really need to open it because my heart has been doing bitch. I need to see it with my two coral eyes and then call my mom. So let me open this and I'll get back to you. I have my passport. So I'm leaving the DHL facility now. Like, peace. I'm going home. I'm leaving the facility now. So I'm heading back home. I'm going home.
God bless my mom and my sisters. Like, this was my mom, myself, and my sister somewhere recording me. We were trying to pack the food items my mom had bought from the market that morning. So because I had actually went out to pick up my DHL package, my sister was trying to make my wigs, my mom was trying to prepare the food. Everybody was just so busy. Everybody was just so tired. But, I just had to go with food. I had to pack some things. So we're trying to label the food items, pack them, seal them up. Gosh, it was a very stressful night. I think I barely slept up to 5 hours this night. And I was just imagining everything I thought I was going to do before I left. I thought I was going to have like maybe a week or two more to spend with my family, but I did not have up to that time. And then my mom was like, you know what, let's just go. If you have to go tomorrow, we don't have a choice. Let's just go to the market, buy what you need. What else do you need? What do you want? And like, it was a really stressful night for everybody, and I'm just so grateful for my family. And here I was leaving. I called my best friend that I was pregnant and I needed someone to come with me for moral support to go talk to my mom. And she had to be here this morning before 10 a.m. She didn't even know I was traveling, but I had to get her to like come to my house because I'd been calling her, let's see, and she was like, I'm busy. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to prank this girl. And then I tried to catch her up on everything that happened and how I was living in such a rush instead of, spending a bit more time like I thought. And yeah, we were already at the airport.
Really happening. My mind explodes. I can feel my bones shaking to the beat of my bleeding heart.
That is my sister, my friend, myself. My mom was somewhere at the back, and the guy with my luggage was in front of us. I was just goofing around. I was so tired. My face was so stressed out. I was just rambling nonsense and trying to, not think about everything that was going on.
An overload. Don't know how this goes, but I'm pretty sure you just made my world stop. I can't believe my eyes.
Looking stressed out. I'm not like I'm looking. I know I'm stressed out because I had just 2 days to prepare for this traveling. I had just 2 days to prepare, so I'm kind of like very stressed out.
So when I weighed my box, we discovered that it was 32 kg and I had just 23 kg. And then we had to repack about 36 kg, in fact. So I was like, where do I start from? I eventually had to drop the box and use a Ghana must go bag instead to pack my clothes. And thank God we brought an extra with us because I envisaged that my food items might be too much. So I had to drop all my spaghettis, one of my poundo yam, one of my semo, my maggi. I divided it and ended up forgetting everything. Nothing pained me more than those food items I dropped, like nothing. So my sister insisted we get something to eat because we left the house very early to avoid traffic and so that we have enough time to sort the luggage if there is any extra. And my mom was tired, I was tired. We barely had 5 hours of sleep the night before, and rushing to the market and everything took a toll on her and everybody else. And I was just so grateful, to have that kind of support from my family. And yeah, we were, after packing, I weighed my luggage, and that was the extra box they were going to take home for me. And I was just trying to spend the remaining time playing with my family. When they left, it dawned on me that I'm on my own from this point, and my mom whispered some things into my ear before I left, like the things we usually do together. And I was just so heartbroken because from here I knew that it's just going to be me against the world. I can't run home anymore from this point. And then I got to immigration and custom, and then I was trying to, do the normal immigration or whatever check they were doing. I was trying to find my way around. I was just following those that I knew, okay, these people are also traveling. I was going behind them, trying to figure everything out. It was my first time leaving Nigeria. It was my first time on an international trip. So I didn't really know my way around this area. I eventually got lost. Not lost. I eventually missed my way and had to go back. And then I asked someone and they pointed me to the direction where I would board my flight. So it was at this point I was heading to the area where I saw people going into, and I was directed to wait here. So I saw other people holding their Turkish Airline tickets, so I knew I was in the right place. We had to wait. When we eventually started moving, we were searched. We got to the waiting area, and I saw that the plane was being prepped for takeoff. Eventually, we entered the plane, and it still was like magic. It honestly still felt so surreal. Like I didn't still get that feeling of I'm eventually leaving. It was so crazy. There were a lot of Nigerians on this flight. Like I spotted and counted just about 8 foreign people. If I'm not mistaken, give or take, we have just 5% foreigners and we have about 95% Nigerians on this flight. It was so crazy. I was like, where is everybody running to? Like, come on.
When I get close to you, close to you, close to you, so pretty I could die. I can't be close to you, 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 close to you. My walls are down, they've been burned to the ground by the voice of an angel. Don't say a word before someone gets hurt.
I really don't know how I feel. I really don't know.
So when I got back from my emotional breakdown in the restroom, I discovered that it was dinner time and we were served drinks and food. Gosh, like this was bread, water, something that they would call vegetable, yogurt, and whatever the Turkish people thought this pasta is or would be like. It was horrible. The food was tasteless. This salad was salty or whatever. I don't even know if I can say it's salad. Like it was horrible. Just eat before you leave the airport or put snacks in your bag, because the food did not taste like food. I just had the, would I say parfait or whatever that is supposed to be. It was sweet, and then I took my apple juice. I requested more juice, and then I left their food for them. I tried the bread. The bread was so strong. Oh God, I was like, thank God I ate. So if you like yourself, put snacks in your bag or eat before you get on the plane so you don't cry premium tears. So when they came back for the tray, I tried to make myself comfortable enough to sleep because, like I said, I barely had 4 hours of sleep the night before. Since I'm not the pilot, neither am I the air hostess, I would not monitor the plane with them. I decided to sleep. You know how people say they can't sleep on the plane? I just slept like a baby. I put on my neck cushion and I had gone, like taking in the view and everything. But come on, my village people cannot follow me on this trip. So I leave the plane in the hands of the Lord and I dozed off to sleep. So the next morning, I discovered in between naps, eventually had to wake up. We had gotten to Istanbul, and Istanbul to Nigeria had a 3 hour time difference. So it was around 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. already in Istanbul when we arrived. So, and my next flight was in less than an hour plus because of the delay. I think I was not really sure, but the time difference threw me off. And number one, number two was I couldn't find my way. When I look at the Turkey time, it was close to an hour to my trip, and I was still trying to find my way around the airport. It was so crazy because getting to this point, I was running because I had barely 30 to 40 minutes left to get to the counter for the next flight. It was so crazy. I was panting, I was tired, asking my way around, but some people don't speak English, so it was really difficult. So I got to the Turkish Airline flight to connect to my next flight to Europe, and this was when we were leaving to board the second flight. On this flight, I would say we were just 4 Africans, 2 people from somewhere in Africa. I don't know the language, seemed kind of familiar but not familiar. One other Nigerian and myself, and the other people on the plane were white. So it was a difference from the first plane from Nigeria where we had 90% or 95% Nigerians and about 5% white people. Again, I tried to make myself comfortable enough to just nap. The time difference here was not so much, and the flight was supposed to arrive in 3 hours, which gave me time to still, arrive to school at the estimated time, maybe just an hour more. They brought their food again. I was like, gosh, this one felt like Quaker oats, and this was something butter, mayonnaise, whatever, I don't know. And they brought their bread, and that was supposed to be sandwich. It was horrible. Again, I decided to leave their food for them, and I just had the oats thing, and then I took water, and then I took the apple juice. That's in the small jar is a ketchup. I was supposed to eat that with the bread, so eventually left their food for them and took the oats parfait thing. I was feeling cold. My neighbors were laughing at me. They were not able to speak English, so we could not communicate. The wife tried talking to me, but we could not because they don't speak English. So I opted to looking out the window after watching a little bit of Tom and Jerry. I was tired. I was bored. I just wanted the flight to just get to my destination so I could arrive in time for school. So we were already landing in like about a minute or two, and I just couldn't wait to, arrive and find my way to the university. It was a bit difficult for me because I think this ride was filled with so much anxiety, so much rush, so much, panic because of time. But the flight was okay. I enjoyed the flight. I was able to sleep. Aside from the food, everything was fine, and eventually got to my destination. So after picking up my cabin luggage, I was making my way to the immigration check. I brought out my university document. I was holding my documents should in case they asked, and I was holding my international passport because you would need it at this point. So this was the immigration check for EEA people or citizens, you were to queue at one part, and non-EEA people were to queue at the other side. So that was reserved for European citizens, and this was for non-Europeans. And they check your passport, they ask you your purpose of visiting, and that's just it. Yeah, I was in the taxi talking with my Uber guy. I picked an Uber to my Airbnb apartment, and then I was supposed to drop my luggage there because it was not yet time for me to check in, after which I was to go find my way to school. So here I was the next day, settled, looking like a fresh cup of tea. After the whole stress, I was trying to find my way again to school. Everything was going good for me so far. I just thank God at the end of the day I was able to make it in time. Thank God, because at the end it was just by His mercy and His love.
Close to